If you guys want to get max badges and hit 99 overall fast in NBA 2K22 next gen or current gen, you've come to the right video. First things first though, please like and subscribe. I mean, it's 100% free, literally takes 5 seconds and helps me out so much, it's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna start this video off by explaining exactly what to do in game to grind badges, and then I'll wrap things up with a few glitches on both current and next gen. Starting things off, let's talk about how to grind finishing badges if you're a guard. What I'd recommend doing is backing up a few steps behind the 3-point line, then do a crossover and speed boost. I recommend speed boosting towards the sideline. This is just where I found the most success. And also, you're going to want to run as wide as possible because for some reason they just can't keep up with you, which will give you an open dunk every single time. For the badges, you're going to want to run with quick first step, slithery finisher, limitless takeoff, and obviously, most importantly, posterizer. Also, all these methods do work for both current and next gen for whatever game you may be playing. For big men, you can go with standing dunks if you want to, but personally what I recommend doing is cut towards the basket for lobs. My favorite way to set this up is by calling for a screen, then pretty much pass the person that's setting me the screen the ball, run around him, kind of using him to bump my defender, and then cut towards the basket, call for a lob, and time the dunk. Also, if you are playing in the NBA and you're doing 5v5, you can do off-ball screens by holding left bumper. Obviously, both these methods don't work every single time, but they're by far the most rewarding way to earn finishing badges. A few badges that will help you guys out is Lob City Finisher, obviously, as well as Posterizer and Limitless Takeoff. Also, depending on your build, Rise Up will also sometimes help if you're doing standing dunks. Now moving on to how to grind shooting badges. If you are a guard, you're going to need to equip the Damian Lillard or LeBron size of escape package first. Next thing you're going to want to do if you are a guard is go to the wing kind of midi area. But you are going to want to be a little bit deep, so that way when you do a step back, you'll be right at the 3-point line. Before you do the step back, you're going to want to wait a few seconds, then hold turbo and flick down on your right stick. You'll get open pretty much every single time, and then you can go ahead and green the shot. And even if you don't green the shot, odds are it will still go in just because of how the game plays. I'd recommend using a kind of fast jumper. It doesn't have to be the fastest jump shot in the world, but I wouldn't recommend using slow jump shots because that will give you time for them to close out and get a contest. For the badges, I would recommend running with Sniper, Hot Zone Hunter if you do have hot zones, as well as Lucky number 7, which can be very overpowered considering most of your shots will be pretty early on in the shot clock. Now, if you're a big man, you can still do this method, but what I recommend doing instead is first start by posting up. Obviously, you're going to want to get the ball as close to the basket as possible, but if you are too close, it'll force you to take a close shot. What I'd recommend doing is just pay attention to where in general I go to, and then just kind of try to copy me. Once you are in a good position, what you're going to want to do is do a post fade. If you don't know how to post fade, what you're pretty much going to want to do is hold left trigger, point your left stick to whichever direction you're going to want to fade to, and then hold square to shoot your shot. A few badges that will help you out is first, primarily Fade Ace. That's probably the most important badge by far. And then next, Sniper and also Corner Specialist will help you if you do fade into a corner. Now moving on to playmaking first for guards, what you're going to want to do is call for a pick and roll, then speed boost around the screen and throw a lob to the roller. If the lob isn't there, don't force it. You can always clear it out and then reset. However, lobs are by far, without a doubt, the fastest way to grind playmaking badges. You can do normal passes if you want, but I just wouldn't recommend it. Also, another great way to grind badges is just wait for them to double team you, then either call for a screen or run towards your teammate. This will pretty much make them cut and you can then throw them a lob. A few badges I would recommend equipping for this method is first Bullet Passer. This is by far the most important badge, but Dimer and Needle Threader will also help you guys out if you want to equip that. Next, moving on to big men. In this game mode, I usually score 9 points first and then just wait for them to start double teaming. When they do start double teaming, this will open up some very easy lob opportunities. If you're playing 5v5, then what I'd recommend doing is try throwing outlet passes. This is overall a super easy way to grind badge progression. And then obviously for badges, you are going to want to equip Break Starter. Now moving on to defense. This is the badge category that the most people struggle with, but is actually the category I personally find the easiest to grind. Before I explain the main method, there are a ton of little things you guys should be doing, such as getting rebounds, getting bump steals, getting passing lane steals, and overall just playing good defense. But the main super overpowered method that I personally use is this. What you're going to want to do is basically play behind your man or out of bounds, so that way the person you're guarding cuts towards the basket. When they do cut and get past the ball, you can run straight into the paint and then get a chase down block. And also, if you don't get a block, you'll at least get a good contest. Also, another way you guys can set this up is, as you guys can see, my man gets the ball and I kind of run off to the side so that way he has an open lane towards the basket. He tries to rim run, but then I recover and boom, get a block. With this method, I'm not even joking, I can end these games to 21 with 5+ blocks consistently. A few badges that will help you guys out is this. Most importantly, Chase Down Artist and Rim Protector. These two are by far the most important badges, and beyond that, you don't really need any other badges. But if you do have extra badges, Pogo Stick and Intimidator will also help. And obviously, if you want to go for steals, then equip Pickpocket and Interceptor. Okay, I pretty much gave you guys a full in-depth guide on how to grind every single badge category in NBA 2K22 Next Gen or Current Gen. But now we're going to be moving on to the best game modes and glitches to speed this badge grinding process up a ton. So first, let's talk about a really overpowered unlimited badge and 99 overall glitch on Next Gen. I've pretty much been using this method to grind every single one of my builds. First step is you're gonna need to get this quest called Meet the Hoopers. For me, I got this quest as soon as I pretty much got my apartment. And I think to get your apartment, you do need to be in the NBA and play the story mode a little bit. So go ahead and do this. Trust me, it's 100% worth it. Once you have this quest, you're gonna wanna go into your apartment. You'll see Ricky has a little waypoint above his head and you're gonna wanna talk to him. Go ahead, skip through all these cutscenes and stuff. And then next, you'll get prompted by this Slam City thing. You're gonna wanna click to view the nights. This is very important. Then after that, you're pretty much good to go. What you're going to want to do is exit your apartment and skateboard over to the rooftop courts. If you've never been to them before, they're right here on the map. Then you can enter it and talk to this bald guy with a waypoint. You'll be put into another cutscene, which you can go ahead and skip. Then you can go ahead, start the game, choose your team, and pretty much just play. Now for the first game you play, you're pretty much just going to play this game normally, grind badges the way I taught you guys earlier in the video. For this second game, as you guys can see, it says win by 3 or more points. And what you're going to want to do is do the exact opposite. So pretty much lose or win by 2 or less points. This means you're not going to meet the requirements and you're going to be unable to unlock game 3. And thus you can repeat this challenge unlimited times, which is super clutch because not only does this mean you can get unlimited Slam City games, but also this half-court 3v3 game is by far the easiest way to grind badges. In this game mode, the games just move way quicker than normal games, and it's overall just a lot easier to grind playmaking and defensive badges. From time to time, you are going to have to let them score, but in my opinion, it's 100% worth it because as you guys can see, in a 5-minute game, I earned 3.3k finishing badges, 1.4k shooting, 3.4k playmaking, and 5.5k defensive, which is overall crazy for a 5-minute game. Also, if you do this method, there's no delay between games. Like as soon as you end one game, the next game just immediately starts. And this can also be used to grind to 99 overall because as you guys can see, I earned 15k my points, which is crazy. All around, definitely this is just a super overpowered method. On current gen, there really isn't a one super OP glitch like there is on next gen, rather a collection of super good things. For example, the rebirth system on current gen is just broken. I mean, you get 20 free badges, which on some builds is literally half your badges, which is nuts. Not to mention, the way overall works on current gen is it goes up to a 95 with the My Point meter system, and then it's a completely different system to hit 99 overall, so basically you're already halfway to 95. Also, another really OP thing is My Player Nation, which you can't get on next gen. This gives you 2 times VC, 2 times badge progression, and 2 times 99 overall progression. All around, this is super overpowered, and make sure you are definitely using these. And then finally, when you do hit 95, you can do this really OP glitch to hit 99. First, make sure you're playing on 5 minutes in pro difficulty. From there, all you have to do is hop into a game and then get takeover. So pretty much do whatever your takeover is. For example, if you have playmaking takeover, get assists. If you have sharpshooting takeover, shoot threes. And if you have finishing takeover, then done. Once you do get takeover, of course, you're going to want to pop the takeover and then start fouling until you foul out of the game. You should aim for around 20 to 25-ish points and foul out in the first quarter with takeover still activated. And if you do this correctly, you should get 99.9 every single time. This method's honestly so overpowered, it's crazy. Like, it's 10 times easier to go from 95 to 99 than go from 90 to 95. It's crazy. If you didn't make it this far into the video, please like and subscribe. If you want a dribble tutorial, a gameplay video, or a VC method video, all of them are on the screen right now. Like, comment, subscribe, go follow me on Twitter, and I'm out. Peace.